It's almost the weekend, which means it's time for this week's Life Picks.
Acclaimed American actress Regina King has won several awards, including an Oscar for her acting. Now, at next month's Golden Globes, she could win her first directing accolade for One Night in Miami.
Well, you can stream that movie on Amazon Prime Video, and if you need reasons other than Regina King as the director to watch this one, here's journalist Jan Lee.
Now, Jan, One Night in Miami is about a fictionalized account of a real meeting in 1964 among four iconic black men: Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and Sam Cooke. How does the film strike a balance between fiction and real life?
So it's basically very dramatized because this meeting did actually happen on the night that Muhammad Ali won his iconic fight over Sonny Liston to become the heavyweight boxing champion. He did celebrate with his three friends, Malcolm X, Jim Brown, and Sam Cooke, in a room at the Hampton House, which is like, I think it's a hotel that still exists today. It's one of those segregation era hotels back when America had, like, you know, white only places, white only establishments, and black only establishments. So he actually did spend the night with his three friends. Because this movie is based on a play by Kemp Powers. It's a play of the same name. So basically what Powers did was he imagined what these four people would be talking about, because these four people are all very important to Black history. And you know, Malcolm X was somebody who was fighting for racial equality, racial justice. You look at people like, you know, Sam Cooke, Jim Brown, they are all very iconic people in the culture. And of course, Muhammad Ali as well, right? He was a boxing champion. So he imagined what these four men, you know, in their own private space, away from white America, they would talk about, what they would talk about amid what is considered the peak of the civil rights movement in America, you know, in 1964.
It sounds very fascinating indeed. So Jen, I'm wondering, out of the four characters, which one was your favorite?
So I have not yet watched the film. I'm about to watch it. I'm very excited to do so. I think I'm pretty excited about Leslie Odom Jr. He plays Sam Cooke. It's also important to remember that out of these four men, two of them would die within 2 years, because Malcolm X was assassinated and Sam Cooke was also shot and killed. So there's like a certain poignancy to the film in that sense, and I'm pretty excited to see what Leslie Odom Jr. would bring, because as we all know, he was in Hamilton and he was really good. So he's also the one getting the supporting actor nominations out of the four. It might just be because he is the most well-known of the cast, but from reviews that I've read, you know, I've seen very, very good reviews about the guy who plays Muhammad Ali and the guy who plays Malcolm X, and actually just the review so far is that the cast is excellent and it's very good, and that the directing from Regina King is very strong. So I'm actually very excited to watch it, and I really hope, like, it's because it's something that's so buzz-worthy in the award season. So I'm hoping that anybody who's like a film buff, who's really excited for, you know, the Oscars or the Globes, to check it out before the award show happens.
Well, thanks for that, Jen. That was Jan Lee, journalist for the Straits Times. Now, One Night in Miami is available on Amazon Prime Video.
Now, amid the pandemic, many tourism boards of countries like South Korea, Australia, Switzerland and Hong Kong are still promoting their tourist attractions to Singaporeans.
Well, that makes sense because, you know, these countries remain visible to those of us itching to fly when air travel resumes.
Our travel editor Lee Siew Hua joins us to share more. Hi Siew Hua. Siew Hua, you highlighted 7 experiences to try. Now, some can even be experienced right now, albeit virtually. What would you recommend?
First off, we have South Korea's Purple Islands. This everything on the island, these two islands in the southwestern part of Korea, are purple-hued from the rooftops to purple bridges and purple phone booths, and even fields of lavender and lots of hydrangea. Right, and the residents also get into the spirit by wearing purple. What happened to it is that the provincial government settled on the purple theme to entice visitors. But with the pandemic, no international visitors arrived. Instead, Koreans, including millennials, started visiting and loving the place and posting virally on Instagram. And so the images have reverberated around the world and we can see them. And also, for nature lovers, Australia has a pair of new sky walks in Calgary National Park. This is in Western Australia. And by day, these twin sky walks that protrude over the wilderness. Visitors can have vistas of rust-red cliffs, flowing river, and the bushland. By night, it gets even more magical because there are stargazing tours and to see the scintillating night sky. And somehow, in my experience, in the southern hemisphere, the stars, the firmament, somehow seem closer to Earth. So there you have it.
Okay, thank you, Siew Hua. We've been speaking to our travel editor, Lee Siew Hua. Now, Haryanto, do you like beef noodles?
I actually do. I like the one that is Soupy, or what they call it, the Niuro La Mian.
Right.
The one that is from China. Do you like it?
I do, but unlike you, I like the goopy, gooey ones.
Ah, the one that probably is with starch, cornstarch, I guess, right, to make it thicker.
I don't know what's in it.
But whatever it is, our senior food correspondent, Wong Ah Yoke, has tried a lot of beef noodles over the past month. More than 10, I believe.
Wow. Well, he's here now to tell us more about this nostalgic dish. Hi, Ayok. So, what do you look for in a good bowl of beef noodles?
Okay, for beef noodles, like you, I like the local version, the Hainanese version. But I prefer the soup rather than the gooey, starchy, dry version actually. So for me, when I go for beef noodles, I tend to order the soup version. And I like variety, so I usually will order like with a mix of toppings besides the beef itself. I would like to have tendons, tripe, and usually some braised meat as well. So that's what makes a complete bowl of beef noodles for me. So that's what I've been looking for over the past month. I went to various stores, some well-known, some not so well-known, trying to find out which are the stores that I find I like most.
And you know, Ayok, you've visited more than 10 stalls, so which would you recommend?
Okay, I will talk about my top 3 favorites. The one that I like most actually is in Tiong Bahru Plaza. It's called Juchet Beef King. It's not a new store. It's been around. It's moved around a little bit, but now it's based in Tiong Bahru Market. To me, it has the best balance of everything. The soup was really delicious, very clear flavor, but there's a beefy robustness as well. And the toppings are very well done. The tripe, the tendon, they are tender but not too soft. So when you eat it, there's a little bit of bite, which I like. The beef balls were obviously handmade. They were small, but you can taste the beef in it. So that to me was very well-rounded and was my favorite out of all the stores that I like. My second choice was actually another surprise because it's a chain and it's in a food court. It's called Blanco Court Beef Noodle. It's actually not a new store either. It's been around since the 1970s, but they have expanded over the years, and now they have grown into a chain. And you always think that chain stores usually standards will drop because there's so many outlets. But I figured that because of the way the noodles, the dish itself is cooked, the beef, the tendon, the tripe, they're all stewed separately, and they have been simmered for a long time. And this makes it actually better when it's cooked in big quantities. That's why a chain store works in this case, because you can use a central kitchen, you cook everything together in bulk, and you actually get a better product. And then you sell it to the individual outlets, and yeah, it's turned out really good. Okay, the third one is actually a very, very popular store, been around a long time, for Hua Hing in Bendemeer Hawker Center. I went twice over the past month actually, because I wanted to try the beef dry noodles as well as the soup noodles. For this store, actually, I make an exception because I like the dry version more. The starch, although it looks thick, the starchy gravy, it looks thick, but when you eat it, actually, it was very light. It wasn't gooey at all, and it was delicious. There was a very strong herby flavor, a little bit of spice. So for this store, I would recommend you eat the dry version.
Sounds yummy and beefalicious indeed. Now that was senior food correspondent Wong Ah Yoke on the best beef noodles in Singapore. Well, looks like I have my weekends planned.
Right. Well, you can always check out the Friday pages in tomorrow's live section for more ideas on what you can do this weekend.